You're listening to Hairtopia. This is your old buddy Stoley. We are rocking through the night. It is 7 o'clock here in the Central Coast. Just had some, wrapped it up there with some Aerosmith, had some Bon Jovi before that, and a little Lita Ford started us off. So anyways, it is 7 o'clock, and we have got a special guest joining us on the phone. TJ Goldade is a driver out at Madison International Speedway here in the Stoughton area, and he's agreed, hopefully not reluctantly, to join us each week and tell us about how his season's going, and maybe talk a little NASCAR as well. So, TJ, how's it going, man?
Not too bad. How you doing, Sully?
I'm wonderful. I'm good. Thanks for joining us. So racing, as I understand, hasn't started yet. You're close to it, though, hey?
Yeah. I think they kicked things off today in Rockford, and from what I understand, the horses up today down there.
Okay.
So, we don't get our opener until May 27th.
Oh, wow. So you got
Sunday at 2.
So you got a ways to go yet.
Yeah, but we got practice in between there, so we got practice in 2 weeks here, so.
Okay, cool. So, you can't, it's not like the guys down in North Carolina where you can race all year round.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice, but.
Yeah.
The deal up here, unless they want to start doing an ice racing league or something like that around the half mile. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. So you've been around racing most of your life. You've got pretty much a racing family. Tell us about that and how everybody fits in and kind of how you got started in racing.
Yeah, my dad kicked off by doing derbies, demolition derbies, and he figured out real quickly that there was no future in that, and then he started kind of doing some enduro stuff, and after he finished a couple of them, he decided that, maybe I should start going racing week to week, and he started doing that in 1987 was the first year that he started racing. He raced at Columbus, and as he'll put it, that was a year he wants to forget about, and I think he has, but then he raced at Jefferson for 13 years later after that, and then he retired in 2003, and that was my brother's first year. And then Ryan's been racing, but he's going to take a year off this year because he's got some other stuff going on and didn't have a whole lot of fun last year, so he's just going to set the car in the corner and go and mess with them whenever he wants to type of thing. And, and I started in 2008. So, we've been at this for 26 years now.
Wow.
So, and I'm going to be 30 in December, so that kind of gives you a pretty good indication how long I've been around this.
Yeah, so you were a wee lad. Nice. So so racing. I mean, getting ready for the season and all that. That's kind of just like, it's springtime. That's what we do. We get the cars ready and go. You probably don't know any different.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more of a year-round thing, really. I mean, we'll take a couple weeks off after like the Fall Classic in late September. Some of the other guys like to go check some other stuff out, like Oktoberfest up in La Crosse and stuff like that. I don't really partake in stuff like that just because, one, I don't got the money, and two, I got a family. So, I just try to give Karen and the kids as much time as possible. And, by missing out on stuff like that, that's fine. So, but, after that, it's tear down and start talking with sponsors and seeing where they're at, and if they choose to go separate ways, then, and then you got to go find something else and make sure someone else isn't already sponsored by them, so you're not an ambulance chaser about it. And,
right.
Fix what needs to be fixed, put a new body on, and we'll give them hell again.
And then turn around and do it again the following year. So,
exactly.
So the division you drive in is called the Sportsman Division. Give us a quick explanation of that for people that may not know the difference between like what they see on TV versus the Sportsman Division.
Okay.
If you can.
Class is, what's that?
I said if you can do it easily. I don't know if.
Yeah. Sportsman class is basically a mid-70s to late 70s typical GM frame car. So at one time it was on the road. They're not unibody cars. We can adjust all four corners like on NASCAR. We have a wide variety of guys that run different types of bodies. A lot of guys will run the 87 Monte Carlo body. I run a 2012 Camaro. body, which, I had to go through a whole approval process for that. We got a kid, Austin Mason, runs a Dodge Challenger. My buddy Greg Baxter runs a Ford Mustang. We've got everything from El Caminos to, weird things like that out there. And, it's pretty neat. I mean, it's really something for people to see. I mean, it's not like NASCAR where, the bodies basically look the same just with the headlight package like the late models.
Right, yeah.
So, we don't have as much power as the late models and stuff like that. We're pretty heavily restricted that way, but, we still go 100.
That's moving along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about the Camaro. You kind of told us it's a 2012. So do you and that now this is the car that's you guys have had for a while, and you changed the body style. You can change the body style as you need to, right, or want to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, with Madison, you talk with the technical director about everything, and as long as he doesn't see a advantage in it, then, it's usually not a problem. I mean, there's some guys that want to put newer style Camaro, like the, 91 through 2002 style bodies on their car because, they think they're outdated or whatever. But, I mean, basically that's just a late model. Mm-hmm. And, that the car that I raced, the chassis, started off as a 442 when my dad ran it. My brother ran that, and then from there we turned it into a 70 Monte Carlo. And then basically when the Camaro thing came about, the owner of Fagan Automotive in Janesville was at the track, and he was really impressed with the way that the sportsman class raced, but he didn't like how all the cars looked the same except for the Dodge Challenger that Bobby Wilbur had out there.
Okay.
So, I kind of use that to my advantage to make things happen, and I've had a really good partnership with those guys ever since.
Nice. So yeah, that is the one cool thing is, you get the different looking cars and so as far as your car goes though, the frame and the motor and everything have been the same. I mean, they've, been obviously worked on and whatever, but pretty much the same frame, and you can just change what the car looks like.
Yeah, pretty
within
much.
reason.
We did some different, suspension things just for competitive purposes, and rules change and stuff like that. I mean, you can only keep reinventing the wheel so many times before basically it's going to turn into a late model, and we're almost to that phase. I mean,
right.
The chassis now in the sportsman class are, basically what a late model was 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not getting any cheaper, that's for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Well, it'll be good to hear how things are progressing, and once the season starts, we'll keep tabs on you. We'll keep the Facebook page updated, and you've got a Facebook page out there.
It's TJ Goldade, number 81 Star Racing is the fan page.
Okay.
Got some interesting stuff up there. I have a crew member named Steve that runs that pretty much for me. So if you think I'm talking in third person, I'm really not. I don't really contribute a whole lot to it as far as me posting stuff, but I see Steve 4 or 5 times a week, so he kind of will take what I have to say, or make sure it's politically correct as possible sometimes. So, but there's a lot of all the links to our sponsors that have Facebook pages are on there, and you can go out and check that out. And
cool.
If you happen to go visit one of those sponsors, make sure that you appreciate them helping out a fellow racer.
Yeah, I will. I'll get the Facebook link in the chat room here so people can click on it. So one other thing that I wanted to do was just kind of, since the NASCAR season's rolling along now, just kind of every week when we get you on here, just kind of get your take on the week's racing. And I know we talked a little bit before we came on the air about it, but I wasn't able to watch the race at all last night. They raced a night race last night, so give me the quick and dirty.
Quick and dirty, 3 cautions, went 235 laps under green. Greg Biffle won.
You could have gone any quicker than that, yeah.
It was pretty boring for me, but I still enjoy watching it and stuff like that. And, there's some stuff that went on during the race that, depending on who your driver was, was pretty interesting. A lot of mistakes on pit road and stuff like that. They kind of, like precautions that really kind of put people into a box. But I think there was only like 12 cars that finished on the lead lap or something like that last night. It was just absolutely insane.
Wow.
But, I kind of miss those days with NASCAR when there's only a handful of cars on the lead lap. I think I need to get back to that myself and get rid of this lucky dog stuff. But for a reason, you went lap down.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're slow.
So.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll hopefully get you back next week if we can get the contract signed and the checks cleared.
Sign it in blood.
Yeah, there you go. So
thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I'll get your Facebook link out there, and do you want to hit up any of your sponsors before we go, or?
The big sponsor we got this year is a Mexican restaurant in downtown Stoughton called El Rio Grande. Go in there and tell Caesar, Joel, and Erica that I said hi. And, if you want good, authentic Mexican food at a really cheap price, that's the place to go.
Excellent.
And you ain't hear from me, but they got really good margaritas.
Excellent.
So,
well, thanks again, and we will talk to you on next Sunday night, about 7 o'clock. We'll keep doing it.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
You bet.